Usually, when somebody in the family comes up with the feeling that they want to seek some help for their mental or emotional concern, they want to take some sort of counseling or therapy for their mental disturbance, the suggestion that often comes from a family member, a friend, or a relative is, "What is wrong with you? You're all good. I don't think you're a psychopath to take some sort of a help like this. Why don't you eat some good food? Do one thing, go for a holiday, or come down for a party with us. Everything will be fine." But, my dear friends, such suggestions can not just be misleading but also can be extremely harmful. So, today in this special episode, let's try to understand what are those basic circumstances where you need to consult somebody for some sort of a therapy, counseling, or help for your mental or your emotional disturbances. I'm going to just list few examples. It doesn't mean that these are the only circumstances where or when you have to seek help. It's just a set of examples I'm just randomly giving so that you can understand when and why you need to really seek help for the disturbance that you are experiencing. Usually, when you feel too anxious or get too many negative thoughts, you're often contemplating on the past, you feel too worried about futile things, or that some sort of a restlessness or agitation that's often running in your mind, you're unable to handle relationships effectively, or if there's some teenager at home dealing with whom is becoming very challenging, there's some sort of a stress at work, or you're unable to sleep peacefully, when you're bombarded with too many thoughts when you wake up in the morning, you're not experiencing sound sleep, when even amidst being with family members or friends or relatives you feel lonely or isolated, you're often feeling like wanting to commit suicide or wanting to isolate yourself, feeling lonely. Most of such symptoms are an indication that there's some sort of a disturbance deep inside, and seeking help is definitely crucial at this stage. But what we often see, particularly with women, is they don't consider self-care or spending on themselves as a priority. They often feel some action like this is against the societal norms. So they start feeling guilty of, taking a decision like wanting some sort of a help from a counselor or a therapist, or seeking some sort of a help for self-care. But unfortunately, if you seek some sort of a suggestion from a family member or a friend who is not an AS practitioner or who is not a professional to give you appropriate suggestion, max to max they'll tell you is to just relax, or they'll say, "I am with you, don't worry." But they will not be able to get into the depth of the pain that you are experiencing at a personal level. And for somebody to express how deep that scar is, that disturbance is, to a fellow mate or a friend is practically impossible, because usually this comes up with feelings of bottled up emotions or some sort of a turbulence which cannot be articulated enough. So, seeking help with a therapist will not just help you to express it freely, but also gain some confidence that you can definitely get over this. This is just a passing cloud. Sometimes when you are going through some hormonal changes, or maybe suddenly you have shifted a job, or you're seeking some new sort of a change in life, you're skeptical, you're apprehensive, there's a lot of insecurity, there's some financial crisis happening, we often feel these are all usual things which everybody experiences in their life, and particularly going for a therapy is not required because this is not a structural damage that has happened. But, my dear friends, seeking help from a counselor or a therapist doesn't mean that you should have some brain damage or somebody should tag you as a psychopath and then you approach someone for help. So, please understand, if you're seeking some sort of a balance, some sort of a harmony in any aspect or any dimension of your life, going to a therapist or somebody who can give you that safe environment for you to express your innate feeling or to gain clarity. Sometimes what happens is, you know what exactly has to be done, but you're unable to do. People who are usually suffering from bipolar disorder, OCD, or depression tell me that I was a very strong person earlier, but now, though I know what has to be done, I don't have enough zeal or enthusiasm to take the appropriate step or action. So, if you're stuck in such a loop, then do not hesitate. Please learn to stand for yourself and tell your fellow mates, your people at home, or your friends that you feel it's necessary, that though it seems to be a small issue, you need some help. And with this simple step, progression on your mental and emotional well-being will be definitely taken care, but you can also see a overall growth in your well-being. That is why I often call therapy is not just fixing a specific issue. It is not a symptom-based analysis. It is a overall transformative journey. So do not just fall into this same old concept or old school of thought where seeking help with a counselor or a therapist is only for people who have been termed with a medical report that there's something wrong with your brain. Need not necessarily be. Sometimes one small thought of somebody criticizing you, or maybe somebody gossiping about you, talking behind your back, can also disturb your mental health, isn't it? So anything as simple as this to a major chronic physical disease where this is also taking a toll on your emotional or mental health, that also can be addressed effectively if you're seeking help from a professional. So it's time to break this stigma and let's all normalize the conversation on mental health. And as I said, anybody who is willing to harmonize things, to bring in that more balance, the joy, the celebration in life, should definitely consider at least start with reading some articles or some books. There are so many self-help books, so you'll know which are those areas or segments where you can improvise. And of course, a lot of times gaining a lot of information can also be a lot of confusing sort of a journey. So if you approach a professional out of their experience and with a third party analysis, when they are neutralizing the whole thing, when they are not judgmental, when they are unbiased about what you're going through, it becomes easy for the therapist also to hit the bullseye and give you appropriate help. So my dear friends, if somebody is coming to you venting out their feeling about their mental or emotional disturbance, don't shoo their feelings away saying this is all normal, even we go through this, nothing special, nothing different, nothing is wrong with you. Try to just sit with them, spend some quality time and tell them that it's time to seek some professional help for it, because sometimes these symptoms which come up as a minor issue can have deeper roots growing if you ignore them, isn't it? So don't wait for your next trigger to surface and also create panic and apprehension amongst your family members or friends. So just prioritize your mental and emotional health, put a list of concerns that you want to seek help for, and do not hesitate to seek help. Thank you so much for watching. Next time I'll meet you again with another special episode on Douglas Therapy. Until then, please take care of yourself. Namaste.